Record to cloud. Record to cloud. Good evening. This is Glenda Carlin, and this is my hour. This is our Zoom group here, where I discuss A Course in Miracles and Tibetan Buddhist truths. And I want to apologize ahead of time here. I've got a new laptop I'm operating from, so I'm gonna be real careful what I touch because my other laptop was a touch screen, but the taskbar is not showing. So so I gotta be careful to call it up when I need to call it up. And so anyway, oh, and just in that same frame of mind, is I sensed my other laptop was kind of not acting right. And I had Geek Squad look at it because I have Geek Squad internet availability where they come in and I don't have to go to Best Buy and take it in. An annual fee, many times I need them to come look at my laptop. They do it and do repair. But anyway, they repaired it and told me everything's going okay, but something was amiss. So I bought, prior to the tariffs, a new laptop and got it all set up, but I've not really used it. So here I am. We're going to use it tonight. So welcome, God Jerry. Welcome, God Angela. Welcome, God Lynn. Welcome, God D. Welcome, God Ed. Welcome, God Leon. And God Glenda. Welcome, God Glenda. And those that listen to this video later, because Terry Wagers texted me she couldn't be here. Kaz is moving in Hawaii. And let's see, how's fire? Oh, Teresa works. Nance does a Minger, I think it's Minger Rinpoche class. And Julia's doing an Anam Tutman class. But they let me know they look at this later and etc. So we welcome all, any and all that look at this. Oh, and I invite in Holy Spirit, Jesus, Buddha, enlightened beings. I've already been talking to them about helping me tonight, but it doesn't hurt to ask again. Guide me what to do or say, but help those present here have insights that will help them in their awakening, in their unveiling of these temporary obscurations, meaning temporary thoughts that are obscuring your innate Christ nature, your innate Buddha nature that is here right now. That nature does not need to be purified. And matter of fact, all the warts and negativities and all that stuff, in essence, doesn't have to be purified either. Those things just need to learn how to let them go. Let these thoughts and the other five sensations come and go instead of having attachment and aversion to them. Because when I have attachment or aversion to a thought or a feeling or a sensation, that thought then obscures my Buddha nature. It's that simple. So the sun is always there. There's just sometimes temporary clouds that obscure it. But anyway, so this week, the email I sent out, I kind of had some teaching topics. So I'm just going to read them because so much goes on that it's hard for me to kind of keep track. The first one is, and this is like really still shocking to me. You know, you've heard Dr. Martin Luther King in that famous speech he gave when he was addressing the striking sanitation workers in Memphis, Tennessee, when the blacks were trying to get equal rights with the whites at the start of all this turmoil of their trying to get equality. He did that speech where he said he'd been at the mountaintop and he had seen the promised land. And he was telling, in essence, the striking workers that there would be, the promise was going to be fulfilled, that they would be equal with whites. Now, we're all going to take that with a grain of salt because we also know there's still racism and there's still all that stuff going on, not holding our brothers equals, but we won't go down that wormhole. But I also, due to this experience I'm going to describe later, I realize he could also be saying he saw the promised land, he saw nirvana, heaven, the true essence of his nature, and he was content. He, okay, and then that's the first one. And then second is I told my mind and its thoughts I was no longer afraid of them. And that's a big to do because unconsciously, it's not just me. I think most people don't realize it, but they're afraid of their mind and afraid of those thoughts that mind, that egoic mind produces. But anyway, that was a topic. Third is this, then that's afraid of that mind that has these egoic thoughts, negative thoughts, thoughts of fear, thoughts that we're afraid of that might come. We think about and think, well, that could come true. But anyway, the third thing happened, then fear stored in my pelvis or root chakra rose up to join with the divine light in the crown chakra. I want to talk about that. To give birth, oh, I hope I don't forget this. I made some note, but while I'm on it, to give birth. Actually, after fear rose from the pelvis area up to the uh, and it rose by meaning I felt a force, an energetic force, and it had enough density to it. It was raising up my central channel up through to my crown chakra, and then would come back down to the root chakra, and it went up, came down in a spiraling fashion for at least 10 minutes. And at the end, when that settled down, a I felt a mass. This time I felt like a mass or a big lump of something in my central channel. And this lump was raising up the central channel. And when it was raising and up to get into my head, I thought, that's what I'm like giving birth to something. That's what it felt like. And as it raised and got to the crown chakra, it left. It left the crown chakra, and how I took it to mean is that was birth of fear now rejoined with love. I was no longer holding fear separate from our divine pure love. And it was the birth of freedom, freedom from fear, that freedom from gluing thoughts together, of fearful thoughts together to make a discursive thinking that causes fearful feelings, freedom from that. And the final thing is, I heard about a book by Tara Brach, Brach, called Radical Acceptance. So glare here, Radical Acceptance. And I've heard Lama Surya Das talk about that book. I'd say, well, he no longer does town hall or any Zoom meetings, but prior to that, pretty much every other time he'd talk about radical acceptance in her book. So I bought it. So I'm going to talk about that. And that means whatever shows up, accepting it, leaving it alone, not needing to manipulate it, change it. Doesn't mean we can't make choices, but it's more, how like you're manipulating and really in there trying to knit grit change it. That's not radical acceptance. Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss is this promised land. Now, I'd say I kind of thought seeing the clear light was good enough because that's called Rigpa in Buddhism. Clear light, the clear light meaning the purity, pure love is so pure, it looks like clear light. But that clear light is the creative force that creates these images, that created all these images, that our form created by that clear light. And that's experienced either by a few ways. One, if you have a guru or a teacher that can help you in a glimpse the clear light within your own mind, or you have moments where you dip into that clear light and you sense it or feel it or see it. And over time, that gets longer, and longer, where it stabilizes. It's not just moments of seeing a clear light. So I thought, because I pretty much see the clear light and see that everything's inseparably interconnected within that clear light. But something has changed. And why it changed, I look at Facebook, all like you all do. I look at Member Rinpoche, Diljo Kimsi Rinpoche Foundation, the Dalai Lama, Lama Surya Das, Adam Tutman. And here's a post. Later, I'm going to discuss a different person's post, but this was from a Lama Surya Das post, and then he's quoting himself. And I put it in the email. And after I read it, I was laying in bed, I read it, and I thought, I'm going to practice that when I get up and go into the bathroom. And here was the post. Practice eye gazing by looking into your own eyes in a mirror and noticing whatever comes up in the mirror of your own internal awareness. Look into who you really are. Now, that sounded fascinating to me. Now, I've sort of read things from people before about looking in the mirror and looking in your eyes while you're looking in the mirror. I've done that, and sometimes I'll see white light or golden light around me or whatever you see, but it's usually something out here, something out here in the external world around my body. But this time, folks, this is shocking. Is as I stood and looked at my two eyes in the mirror, I felt being drawn into the mirror. And for only a teeny tiny split second was I even concerned about that. In general, as I felt drawn, I didn't resist. I just allowed this to happen. And I got drawn, my eyes open, drawn into the mirror, where I ended up less than an inch from the mirror. And at that last bit, the two eyes left, and there was just one eyeball. I was looking in an eyeball in the center, that the retina part, the dark part in the center. My vision was going inside that dark round center, down, I guess it's going up, but it's going into that, and it's a black tunnel. And I knew I was going into the Great Ray Tube. And as I just followed it, my vision just went all by itself. And at the end, it opened into a circle of the most brilliant, sparkling, clear light, diamond-like, just radiating light that I've ever seen. And when I later thought about it, the clear light I've seen is like 10%, if that, of the brilliance that what I looked into. And what I realized I looked into was presence, the presence of source or God, but it's also our presence, our true nature. And when I was sitting in my chair preparing for this teaching, I thought, geez, I think that could be when people say they look into your soul. No, I don't know if that's the correct thing, but I was looking, and I just looked into that white. I mean, it wasn't white. Don't, no, it's the circle. I just looked at, I was just so amazed at the clarity of it, the clearness of it, and its brilliance, its luminosity. And I just, then I kind of leaned back and it was gone. So I really felt like, and it came to me, the thought came to me, I've seen the promised land, meaning that's heaven, nirvana, the sparkling, clear light of source, our essence. And that was October 9th. October 9th. Now I'm going to look at my notes because and that's when I looked up that Dr. Martin Luther King quote and found out when he had said it. And also, the next on, I had ordered that book, Radical Acceptance, and the 9th was, I think, Sunday. Is it Sunday? No, the 9th was, I guess, Thursday. Is the book Radical Acceptance came in that same day. So that was when I woke up and laying in bed. And then the book came in. I opened up the package, laid the book down. And later I picked, after meditation with that group, coaching group, I picked up that book and I decided to read the last chapter. You know how you read different books differently. I went to the last chapter and I was reading first page. I got to page 4, I think it was page 329. And she's this T-A-R-A, Tara or Tara Brach, B-R-A-C-H, PhD. She's a psychologist. She was writing about, oh, Gautama Buddha. That's Buddha's first name. Sorry if I say it wrong. About Buddha. And I'm going to read the quote because she's quoting about when Buddha was under the Bodhi tree and awakening. So here's the quote. At the culminating moment of Gautama Buddha's awakening, he faced the enormous force of doubt. He had spent the night under the Bodhi tree, responding with mindfulness and compassion to all the various challenges of Mara, M-A-R-A, the small g god of greed, hatred, and delusion. As the night was beginning to fade, Buddha knew that his heart and mind were awake, but he was not yet fully free. Mara then issued his final and most difficult challenge and said to him, by what right did Siddhartha aspire to Buddhahood? In other words, who do you think you are? This voice of Mara is the one that urges us to turn against ourselves, to give up the path, convincing us that we are going nowhere. In response to this challenge, Buddha reached down and touched the earth, calling to it to bear witness to his many lifetimes of compassion. In touching the earth, he was also touching the ground of wakeful presence, the heart of perfect wisdom from which all enlightened beings spring. He was calling on his true identity to dispel all the doubt that kept him from complete freedom. According to the legend, at that moment, when he touched the ground, the earth trembled and the sky was filled with rumbling. Mara, seeing that he was facing not a man, but the creative power of awareness itself, fearfully withdrew. So when I read that, she says, she's quoting that he was touching the ground of wakeful presence. And when I realized that clear, luminous light clear light that I saw, just brilliant, sparkling. It's called the groundless ground, the beginningless beginning, where the in our Course in Miracles, I would say the sonship decided, it wanted to feel what pure love felt like. Previously, it could only know what pure love felt like. It wanted to feel it, but to feel it, it had to create two-ness. And it's from this creative, groundless presence that this creative force then created the five elements, etc., the egoic mind, the mind of two-ness, and instructed it how to make all these forms, etc. But Buddha took his hand and touched the ground to remind himself of his essence. So I had read this story, this recount of Buddha, and then I just laid the book down and I took a nap. I have to look at my notes. This is that same day, October 9th. And I woke up and I had a very negative thought came to mind that I could not let go of. And as I looked back on this, I saw I was going with the negative thought about if that happens, then this will happen. And if that happens, then this will happen. And this will not be a good outcome. But then it dawned on me, because I teach you all this. I was gluing thoughts together to make a story, to make an image or an activity or a thought, an event that had not occurred yet. I was creating it in my mind and feeling what it would feel like if it came true. And it was just I was very fearful, but I wouldn't necessarily at that moment thought that was fear, but I was. So, but I knew enough that I was gluing thoughts together. And as soon as I was aware that I was doing that, I went to my mind and I touched that clear, sparkling, brilliant light. And when I did that, that let go of this negative, fearful thought. And I'd like to be able to say to you that that was enough, that it only took me one time going and touching the clear light that I saw in my mind to let go of this negative thought. But it took me a few times over a couple of days to let go of this negative thought. And during that time, that's when it occurred to me, as I was letting go of it, that I told my mind as I was letting go of it, I'm not afraid of you anymore. And I'm not afraid of these thoughts, because I'd come to the realization that whatever happened, if this worst thing happened, and I'm sorry I can't just divulge what it is because it's so personal. If that thing happened, I would be okay. I could adapt. Whatever happened was going to be all right. In essence, see what's happening? That's radical acceptance. Whatever shows up, leave it as it is. Don't fight with it. Don't resist with it. Don't glue thoughts around it and feelings to make a story and waller in it. Let go. But so I'm telling my mind, I'm no longer afraid of you. And I'm not afraid of my own thoughts, right? I mean, and to think all the letting go I've done, but Mara, the small g god of what was it called? Greed, hate, and delusion. It knows the thought, the negative thought you've got. it's back in the shadows of your mind because I came to realize each of us has some negative thought that is we don't want to think about. And we've held it in the shadows of our unconscious mind. But that means we still sense it's there. And once in a while, it might show us a little head a little bit, and then we just kind of push it away, deny it. And oh no, I don't really feel that way. Oh, whatever. But it's still there. So, this teaching, one of the main things I want to express is to sit with Holy Spirit and your higher Buddha Christ self and just be open to your higher self and Holy Spirit showing you what thought you've got that you're repressing, because that fearful thought is underneath affecting your life, where you can't be as free, joyful, or happy, or contented, right? It was shocking to me, folks. It was. So, and now if you've got some deep-seated childhood uh, physical injuries or really deep-seated hurt, you may need a psychologist or somebody to help you with this. Because I know enough. You don't do some, it depends. See, my negative thought is not deep-seated from physical or mental abuse any time in my life. So therefore, I didn't need psychological help to help me. But as if this thought comes up, you know how it is. You then seek help, someone to help you that's credible, that you trust, whether it's a friend or family or a mental health consultant. But anyway, so that was shocking. But anyway, okay. So now picture that's the 9th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's 2 or 3 days. This I'm going to my mind and touching it and sitting with and resting within that clear, brilliant light. I mean, oh, it's the promised land, folks. It's just, it's home. It's our home. That's your home that you reside in even now, but we're not aware of it. That's our home, that source, whatever you want to call it. That's your nature, your innate nature, this pure love that's so pure it shows up as brilliant, diamond-like, clear light. Just brilliant. But anyway, so I'm touching that clear light, resting with it, being with it. Oh, and then I recognize that's, like I said, that's the groundless ground from where all creation started. So picture in your mind, you can, in any position your body could be in, you can be in that with that clear light, standing, lying down, sitting in your chair, walking around, because that groundless ground is forever with you right now. You can't fall off of this groundless ground. It fills you with this clear light. It sustains us. It supports us. It holds us. It holds us. Its presence is all around us and within us. It's the groundless ground. We can't fall off of pure presence, of pure source, of pure God essence, your true nature, and everyone's true nature. Oh man. But anyway, so because of that, then on the 12th, I was, when I wake up, I'm sort of meditating when I wake up, but then I'm thinking of thoughts too as well. But on the 12th, that's when I was laying there in bed on my flat on my back, and I felt in my belly, in my stomach, this warmth. And as I looked, I've never felt this before. As I felt that warmth, the warmth changed to what I described before to you, where it became like a force of energy that was moving up my central channel. And see, as I'm speaking here now, I realize by resting and being with that clear light presence so much now, then more pure love is resonating in my mind and the clear light within my form, my heart, the organs, the chakras, where then that fear coming out of my root chakra or lower belly could be let go of to rise. And it rose to the crown chakra, like I said, and back down to the root chakra for over 10 minutes. It spiraled like that. And it was healing. It was healing and rejoining fear and divine love. Until, like I said, it became like that was released. What was released was I gave birth to the union of fear and love. Now, what comes to me, of course, in Miracles says the opposite of love is fear, but what's all encompassing can have no opposite. So that's why it joined fear. Why Holy Spirit has had this negative thought that's been lurking in the back of my mind be brought up for me to recognize we all each have some hidden, besides probably maybe some other fears. There's one main fear that once that's cut, then you can let go. Fear rejoins with divine love and you're free. You're free from that prevalent egoic fear. Now let's see, 1, 2. That was the 12th. Then the 13th, let's see, the 13th. Heck, that was yesterday. Now, then I'm starting to feel the results of, I'll go back a second. Then Sunday, the 12th, I'd gone to the health club and then I went to the grocery store. And as I was at both places, I would stop once in a while and think about that clear light that everybody is. But as I was driving home from the grocery store, something very, very, very unusual happened in that. And I don't know if I'm going to do justice explaining it. Is as my cars, I was driving down the highway, you know how you pass fences, buildings, grass areas, cars, you're passing things. As I passed these items, it seemed like I was like intimately with whatever that item was. I wasn't separate from that item. And then the next item would show up, and the next item, or there'd be a sound, and I was intimately with the sight or sound or a thought. And what I realized later by listening to a podcast that what I was doing was, it's called co-meditating with your six senses. The thinking mind is a sixth sense, but there's vision, sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch. Co-meditating means we're no longer holding those sensations separate. Less and less, you're holding them separate, and you're less and less labeling them good or bad. You're letting them be, and they're coming and going. So you're just co-meditating with them. And I realized that's what was happening. It was and the feeling was I was my mind or my body and everything was inseparable from whatever was showing up. And in reality, that's how it is. That's the inseparable interconnectedness of everything. Because the pure, clear light of God presence interconnect is all there is that's running through your skin of your body, through your body. There's no interruption even from your skin. It's a continuous clear light that's going like that through every form, animate and inanimate. It's all interconnected. And that, what's the saying? Make me one with everything. I realized I felt one with everything. And what one means, ONE, is I I just knew because I'd seen this clear, radiant, clear light. I know that light, clear light's there. Before it was just enough to see just clear light, but this radiant, brilliant, clear light, I know God's presence is here. I know this essence is permeating everything. And that means there's only the one presence of God, and we're all within it. Non-dual love appearing as what I write here, the diversity of the dual images. I'm going to say that again. Non-dual pure love appearing as the diversity of all these dual images. Yep, when I had that one eye, that one God eyeball, and I forget there's some Christian mystic who said the eye through which I see God is the eye God sees me. Guys, I saw that one God eyeball, and that God eyeball's looking right at us. We're looking at it, and it's looking at us. And that's awareness looking at awareness. Awareness knowing itself, capital A awareness, knowing its true essence. Oh, I want to show you in my email, I sent you a colored picture. Now, why that picture came up is because of this oneness where I was feeling, one with everything. Now, I'm going to call up just on my phone this image in color. Then I don't have a color printer, so I'm going to show it in color first. Now, while I hold this, can y'all see that all right? Now, what this is showing, I'm going to hold this. It's showing this is a mountain. And this mountain, oh, let's see oh, my light's going off. This mountain, at the bottom of the mountain, it could be you or I. It's a human being. And this human being is chasing an elephant, a black elephant. But see the hill, the mountain is got terraced circular roads because you can't traverse straight up the mountain, although swooping from above can bring you straight up the mountain to awakening. But typically we do relative practices and we go up the mountain through this curved road pathway of different relative practices, meditation, treched, forgiveness, acceptance, letting go, letting be. But anyway, at the bottom, the human being is chasing the black elephant. That's the human, us humans, chasing thoughts, chasing our Mara mind, our egoic mind, chasing it. We want a thought, we want a certain thing in that, and it's black. But as he goes up the curved road, he starts running away from the black elephant because the elephant's chasing him. So he's running. He has thoughts that he's adverse to. He's pushing them away. He doesn't want them. And as he transverses on up the mountain, the elephant starts to change colors from a little bit black, from all black to a little white on it, then a little more white on it, then a little more white on it. And I couldn't quite make it all out because I've not been taught what this picture means. But sometimes the human is hanging on to the tail of the elephant. Sometimes he's hanging on to the trunk of the elephant. And the thing is, as he gets toward, so what this is showing, because the elephant's changing from black to white in varying degrees, that's showing that the human is starting to get a little control and mastery of his mind, where he's not attached and clinging to all these thoughts, feelings, and sensations, and he's not pushing or having aversion to thoughts, feelings, and sensations. He's learning to let go. Let go means let come and go and just be, rest. Just rest your weary heart and mind. As he gets near the top, look, there's a tunnel. There's like a tunnel up there. And at first I wrote in my email, I thought that was the Great Ray Tunnel. But now it came to me this afternoon. I don't know if this is true or not. But what came to me is that tunnel is where Mara, Mara, starts to really lay down the law to the awakening person, saying, who the hell do you think you are? You can't be a Buddha. If you go in that tunnel of fear, of Mara, just beating the hell out of you, but they come out the other side, and guess what? The human is riding the white elephant. The human has in his mind, he's rejoined fear with divine love, pure love, and he's riding the mind. The mind no longer is holding him captive. Off they go into the sun, into the brilliant clear light of source. Not off, meaning just gets to rest there from now and now and now and now and now forever. That is a beautiful picture. It's in the email. Let's see. That's really kind of the essence of my teaching tonight. Is oh so so that was Sunday and Monday. Today's Tuesday. So much just goes on. But a byproduct of this, because in essence, what this means, the mind is opening. My mind is opening to its pure essence. It's aware of its pure essence. So therefore, it's letting go. It's letting go of things. And don't you know, in my living room, it came to me a different way I could arrange my furniture in the living room. And Monday morning, I got up and changed the way the furniture was in my living room. And when I did that, I ended up, there's like 10 or 12 items that I need to give away. So I've got them laid in my foyer area to give away. And then also my taxes got finished. You know, those of us who are real procrastinators, but I got, I'm laughing because I feel like I got a real reason, because I've been almost on a year-long retreat. I've been a single person retreat, studying and meditating and going within my mind to understand my real essence. But anyway, my taxes weren't my priority. And my accountant had filed an extension. But don't you know, the last day you can turn all that in electronically is the 15th of October. So last week I took all my taxes in. And I'd sold my house. So folks, I had to go through credit card statements to find expenses for that house repair so I could not pay taxes on the sale of that house, etc. So, and come to find out, no taxes, because I have a business loss from my late husband and my business. At the end, it was losing money. So I have losses I can write off from that. But anyway, the accountant told me I could let go, or she didn't say let go. I could get rid of business records that are more than 3 years old. And she told me that personal records are kept 7 years. So like 2025, so that'd be back to 2018. But you can get rid of everything else. And she told me that usually police departments or fire stations, once a year or whenever, bring a big shredder in and will shred documents for people, no cost. And you don't have to remove staples. And I thought, whoa, because when I closed my business, I can't tell you how many boxes of documents I paid an employee to dispose of through shredding, etc. So today I went to my file cabinet and was going through each of the four drawers and I had forgotten that of some of my business files were in there, and besides my personal. So I'm going through the files, laying them on the little twin bed that's in there and sorting them. And here's the thing. As things showed up, I'd be aware, oh, look at there was like a folder of liability insurance. When you're in business, you carry liability insurance. If somebody gets hurt on your property, you need to help reimburse them, right? Or workers' comp, you get an employee injured, you have workers' comp insurance, etc. Well, workers' comp, what came to mind is we paid workers' comp insurance for 10 or 12 years and didn't have one injury. And the moment you have one injury, your workers' comp doubles. You'll get dropped by that firm, and then you got to go find some workers' comp somewhere else at this higher price. Well, there I was. I was giggling. Oh, yeah, look at those thoughts. That's just the way the business world is. That's the way it operates. So I was letting go the thoughts as I saw these folders and sorting folders that went in recycle versus papers that could be shredded, right? So, as a byproduct of clearing of the mind, healing it's not healing, it's letting go of these judgments. But the big let go is fear itself. Oh, that's Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I almost forgot, who said there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And as I sat there touching my hand to that clear, brilliant, clear light, and feeling the brilliant clear light, and the fear just disappears. It's just fear itself. Now, of course, events, activities may occur that we are Buddhas and Christ by nature. We are strong, holy people, courageous. We can adapt and we can face whatever comes to us because we got friends, family, Sangha, professionals that can help us as well. We're not in this alone. We're all in this together. So that freeing then is showing up as me cleaning around in my living room, cleaning in my documents, my business and personal documents, letting go of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and actual physical objects. It's pretty marvelous, isn't it? This whole letting go, letting come and go. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming. I love you all so dearly. You're all such sweethearts. Oh my. So before I go, are there any thoughts, comments, or questions before I stop the recording? People love to hear thoughts, comments, or questions. If you got them, just keep it short. But now, while you're thinking and contemplating it, Jerry, you got something, honey?
Well, I wasn't clear when you let me go back to the negative thoughts, and you want to go to that clear light. You did explain how you do it, but
Oh, yeah.
maybe you could
Okay.
repeat it because I want to practice what how you get there.
Mm-hmm. Then visualize your mind, your true essence mind is this sparkling, brilliant. It's like a diamond. You know how like a diamond sparkles when you put it flashes clear light from it.
Mm-hmm.
Picture your mind is like that. So in your mind, just kind of take your hand and touch that. That's what I do. I just touch it. And that means I'm aware it's there, and it's me, I'm it. That's it, folks. That's God, that's source. That's everything. Everything's essence is that. Now in Buddhism, they call it the radiant uh clear light. And they also call it spontaneously present clear light, because this clear light is always creating. And it's what it's creating are thoughts, feelings, and
Mm-hmm.
images. So that's why it's so brilliant and sparkly, because it's creative. It's just pure, and it's pure. It's pure love. It's pure love. Love so pure, it's sparkles. Like so, just you just visualize that and go there, touch it, and that's the groundless ground. That's from which everything is created. Now, that's what I do. Now, the Buddha, he touched the ground, because maybe this would be too much to explain to people back then, because the ground represented the creative force, because Mother Earth, maybe they thought of Mother Earth, as
Mm-hmm.
Mother Earth produced from the dust comes the human body, etc. Well, that's later in the Bible, whatever, I don't know. But he knew the earth, that was pure presence, is what he was touching. So wherever you want to touch it, honey, because the pure presence is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But because I saw it within my mind, that's where I went to look at it.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah. I'll try practicing it, and then I'll see where it's not working or is working.
And you can call me. You got my number. You can call me. Oh,
Okay.
yes. And see, it's harder when you haven't seen it. So now you're just working from what these holy beings have told us, these enlightened beings in
Mm-hmm.
all the Buddha scriptures and Buddha Sutra, Buddha himself, and then the sutras and the holy enlightened beings that came after him. But now, and Course of Miracles says the great rays, the arc of light, you're a light being, because it's saying the same
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But each person, sometimes a guru can join with a person's mind and they see it. And then they've had a moment, they know the there is there. They know this presence is there, and and then they can go and back and touch it. So you're going from believing me, but I'm trying to explain it's not just me.
Mm-hmm.
People, all these people on the path, well, not all, that take a guru, that's one of the first things they
Mm-hmm.
do is share their mind. The guru joins their mind with the person and transmits this light image that they can see. Anyway, mhm. But you get the gist
Oh,
of it.
thank you.
Uh-huh. And oh,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
picture,
I'm getting
oh,
there.
something else came to me. So picture in your mind, you see the sun, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
see the sun. The sun is
Yeah,
picture is God
is
presence.
yeah, I do already. I always
Yeah,
did, even before I practiced.
yeah, right. But that sun's hidden by clouds or thoughts. So you're just gonna vaporize the thoughts and go look at the sun.
Clouds.
Yeah. Touch the sun, and that gives you stability. Oh, I forgot to mention what
Mm-hmm.
this has caused is when I look out, everything looks stable, secure, grounded. Everything's got clear edges to it. It's got distinctive, defined edges, distinctive colors, distinctive uniqueness. It's very clear and present. Uh, all the images look very distinctive and unique and brilliant and sparkle, not necessarily sparkly,
Okay.
but maybe alive might be the word.
Mm-hmm.
because that presence is the ground you walk on. That there's only God presence. Remember, God everywhere or nowhere. But it's
Mhm.
hard. So picture even the ground you walk on, even though it looks solid, it's full of vibrating light particles. It is pure light as well, pure love. It just doesn't, its image is unique, but its essence is what we're talking about here, right? So there you go. Thank you,
Thank you.
Jerry. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. I'm going to probably say goodnight. Thanks.
Okay. Good night. Thank you, honey. Now, so before we go, let's look at each tile and acknowledge what each person is. Because as you see them, and Dee's got a dog, and then Lucas isn't in the picture right then, her little grandson. Each of you got children or husband or wife or partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, friends, whatever. How you think of them, you think of yourself, as Jesus says in the Course. And God is everywhere or he's nowhere. The opposite of fear, the opposite of fear is love, but what's all encompassing can have no opposite. Because this clear light is the pure love, unconditional love that loves you just as you are, warts and all, negative thoughts and all, just as you are. That's the other thing with radical acceptance. I'm accepting everything as it is. As it is doesn't mean I can't make some choices, but I accept it as it is. Then I accept it as it is, as it is. So God Angela, God Lynn, God Jerry, God Ed, God Dee, God Leon, God Glenda, God Terry. Wait, I'm gonna go through them. Angela's here. Joan, Joanne, Barbie, Gonzalo, Danelle, Alvaro, Leon's here. Debbie Thomas, Corrine, Sally Quinn, Dee's here. Julia Bradley DeBose, Julie Barker Gillette, Simone Foley, Lorraine, Steve, Chaz is moving, Chaz, Casey Jones, Jerry's here, Susan A., Gabby, and all those that watch the video later. May all beings with whom we're inseparably interconnected and who want and need the same as we do, may they be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, safe, and free. May all be free from war, violence, oppression, inequality, injustice, and may we all together complete the spiritual journey, one family, one circle, all the way home to the home that's in your mind, right here, right now. I love you all. Okay, I'm going to stop by. Thanks for coming out, Lynn. Thank you, honey. I'm going to stop the recording, hopefully, and without ending the meeting, because some of us stay in chat. I'm just going to stop the recording.